We got to innovate, we got to create, and we got to bring it to the marketplace. Make our organizations better, make our teams better, make ourselves better, and then also make our products and services better. So the formula is very simple. Here's the 3 ingredients: synergy, feedback, and creativity. So the first thing to do is synergize outside your space. So one of the things I like to do, and have done for years, when I was just solely focused on the real estate community, I would bring people from outside real estate to speak to the real estate community. Now, they wanted me and my company to give them specifics and how-tos in their space, but I brought people constantly in from outside, and that is a key ingredient to all innovation. Because somehow, you know, I've met with people who are in the health and well-being business, or they run hospitals, and what in the heck has that got to do with coaching? But when I see how they go through their process or some of their best innovations, it's been very, very helpful for me in my business. So you want to synergize outside your space. Find people who are in business, and it doesn't have to be your business, and then you just got to find how to translate what they're doing and their innovation and bring it back into yours, which is kind of a fun thing to do. Jim Rohn said, if better were within, better would come out. So sometimes we got to go outside. Charles Kettering, a very famous businessman, said, if you hang bird cages in your mind, you eventually get something to put in them, which is totally true. That is totally true. And that's how innovation works. That's how creativity works. Evelyn Waugh, who's a British author, said, when the water holes were dry, people sought to drink at the mirage. Powerful stuff. So synergize outside your space. Next, get feedback from staff and key customers. So when we would do our tours, our success tours, we'd have these big giant events. My brother Dermot, along with our marketing team, our product development people, we'd get 12 of our coaching clients from all people who've been with us 20 years, people who've been with us 5 years, whatever, everything in between from all different regions, and they'd do feedback. And they'd use our formula of what we call the magic meeting and get their feedback, get their input. Then we would have different customers who use our products and services, and we'd have 12 of those folks. And we would do this in every city we went to in North America. And we'd get all this feedback, and it made us better and helps us better. Still do this today. Pat Lencioni said, remember, teamwork begins by building trust. And the only way to do that is to overcome our need for invulnerability. We want to, hey, I want your feedback. I want your input. I don't say I have all the answers. I want to be a little vulnerable. Say, how can we get better? What's working well? What needs improvement? What are your ideas? Steve Jobs said, great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. And then Frank Sonnenberg says, the only thing worse than not requesting feedback is not acting on it. Very, very powerful. The last little piece to this is when you want to create, you got to get outside the office. You get off-site to create. And like I mentioned, with my team here, even with the podcast, get off-site. Go and we get a suite right overlooking the ocean. Beautiful environment. Really nice place. Flip charts, marker pens, wallpaper the walls, ideas, thoughts, creativity. That's where it comes. That's how it flows. So you get off-site to create. Twyla Tharp, as a U.S. dancer, said, in order to be creative, you have to know how to prepare to be creative. So put yourself in a place to be creative. Prepare to be creative. Bring the content, bring the information, and then create the space to be creative. David Karp was a tech entrepreneur, said, find a space where you can be creative and a place where you are open for free thinking. You want to enjoy what you are doing and do what you are best at. So create that space. And then lastly, Charles Bauer, who's a professor, said, a new idea is delicate. It can be killed by a sneer or a yawn. It can be stabbed to death by a quip and worried to death by a frown on the right person's brow. Powerful. That's why you want to have the right people who are creative in the room. I don't bring a lot of implementers. I don't bring a lot of the how-to people. How are we going to do this? How's that? Oh, that's not going to work with our system. That's not going to work with our email process. I don't bring the lawyer. I don't bring them. I bring creative people to creative meetings because that's not the time for how does it work? How are we going to do it? That's not the time. When people are writing goals, I champion them all the time. Forget the how for now. The fact of the matter is you have to create, you have to innovate, you need possibility thinking, get off-site, be creative.